So, UFC Fight Night Moicano vs Duncan is this weekend, and I, King here MMA, will be discussing the picks and odds for this card. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get right to it. For the first fight of the night, it will be Kai Kamaka versus Dakota Hope. Kai Kamaka, the third regional warrior. Legitimately, he was in the UFC about 5 to 6 years ago. Had about 4 losses and a draw and a win. He's been win, loss, literally on the outside of the UFC. I don't know if he's coming back for a short notice fight, but he's literally like 3-2 in his last 5 fights. And Dakota Hope, he's 11-1. Good up and comer in the lightweight division. I'm gonna choose Dakota Hope, bro. Dakota Hope is like, this dude is literally a win-loss fighter, and Kai Kamaka might be a dog, might not be, but bro, Dakota Hope is $2.30 and Kai Kamaka is $1.60. I'm choosing Dakota Hope. I'm choosing the guy that's 11-1 against 16-7. So yeah. For the next fight, we have Diane Barboza versus iCarly Melissa Gatto. Diane Barboza. She's had a very slated run in the UFC. You know, she lost to Karine Silva, but Karine Silva's not too bad. Submitted Diana Balbita, lost to the Maverick. Melissa Gatto. She knocked out Tamiris Vidal and lost the last 2. Actually, and she's been knocking out all of her opponents, but she's been very on and off. I'm going to choose Diane Barboza. Maybe. Oh, now I'm looking at Melissa Gatto's wins and losses, and they're not actually that bad either. But she's been off for friggin' 2 years. I'm going to choose Diane Barboza, hesitantly, to win by decision. I think this will go to a finish though, honestly. So yeah, Diane Barboza, she's $1.70 and Melissa Gatto is $2.10, so yeah. And for a middleweight bout, we have Asmat Bekaev versus Trayshawn Gall. Asmat Bekaev, he's looked pretty good in the UFC so far, man. He KO'd Zach Reese. Zach Reese is actually half decent. Ryan Loder, let's not talk about that. Ryan Loder sucks. But the only guy he's lost to is Yasiri Baguri, and we know how good he is. He's a legitimate kickboxer. Trayshawn Gall, he's okay. You know what I mean? Like, he's more of a losing than winning fighter. Lost to Rodolfo Vieira. That's not really a good aging win. And Marco Tulio, he's okay, but I'm going to choose Asmat Bekaev. He's the way better fighter. He's beating way better competition. And he's only lost in the UFC is Yasiri Balgari. So yeah. And Trayshawn Gall is just not very good. Asmat Bekaev's $1.14 and Trayshawn Gall's $5.75. So yeah. Probably the biggest underdog on the card. And for the next fight, we have Alice Pereira versus Haley Cohen. Alice Pereira, she was hyped up because a lot of people thought she was Alex Pereira's sister. Alex Pereira does have a sister, but not in the UFC. She fought Monty Rendon. Just got dominated on the ground, but if she's fixed her ground game, she should be okay. But she's a really good striker out of Mexico. Oh, Mexico? Brazil. Oh, because she was fighting in Mexico. Yeah, out of Brazil. She's 19. You know, she's pretty scrappy. Haley Cohen, just definitely not UFC worthy. She lost to Jamie Lynn Horth in a very dominant decision and then got submitted by Nora Connolly. I'm choosing Alice Pereira. Just Haley Cohen's not UFC level. While Alice Pereira, I don't rate her much better. I still think she's better than Hayley Cohen. She shows more promise. I'm going to choose Alice Pereira by a decision. Alice Pereira's $1.75 and Hayley Cohen's $2.10. So, yeah. For the next fight, we have Lando Venata versus Darius Flowers. Holy shit, this is such an apex fight. 12-7 to 12-8-1. Yeah, okay. Lando Venata, he's actually been in the UFC since 2016, if I'm not wrong. He's been around for a while. He's been around, his debut was against Tony Ferguson, but he's been a very win-loss sort of fighter. You know, like, he's fought nearly everyone in basically fringe of top 20 of lightweight. But, he hasn't fought since 2023, so it's been 3 years since he's fought, basically. And Darius Flowers, he's lost all his fights in the UFC, all by finish. He lost to Evan Elder by submission. He hasn't fought in about 2 years either. Then Michael Johnson, then got submitted by Jake Matthews. So Darius Flowers is a welterweight coming down to lightweight. It's a pretty hard fight to choose. They're both pretty bad. They're both pretty terrible, aren't they? I mean, Lando Venata at least is losing to better competition, but he's coming up from featherweight. You could go light immense skill on it, or you could... This is hard. Like, Lando Venata's not half bad, but also he's terrible at the same time. I'm going to choose Darius Flowers. I know that's... No, I don't want to. Nah. I'm choosing Lando Venata. I think Lando Venata's just... I know he's on a 3-year layoff, but I think his vet, like his unk status, maybe he'll get it done. This is so hard to choose. Lando Venata, $1.40, and Darius Flowers, $2.80. Don't know why I was so long on this. In the next fight, we have Alexandre Costa versus Stuart Nickel. Alexandre Costa. Don't really know how to describe him. He's not a half bad fighter, but the competition that he's getting, Amir Abazi got KO'd by him, then he knocked out Jimmy Flick, then got beaten by Steve Erceg, and then Arian Correa, he beat Kevin Ballhouse. Alexandre Costa, he just gets really tough competition, makes it pretty competitive. He beats some of the scrubs of the divisions. Stuart Nickel, he was an Australian regional guy, and he has been beaten by Jesus Aguilar and Lucas Rocha. I love the Aussies, man, but I gotta choose Alexandre Costa. Like, Stuart is literally 0-2 in the UFC, and he lost to Jesus Aguilar, who got did he get stomped out in his last fight? I feel like he did. I'm choosing Alexandre Costa by a finish. I think he's gonna finish Stuart Nickel, which I hate saying because I do love Aussies being in the UFC, but I just don't think Stuart Nickel is UFC level. A bit like a Shannon Ross. Alexandre Costa's $1.20 and Stuart Nickel's $4.30. So yeah. And for the next fight, we have Gilham Pat versus Thomas Peterson. Jesus, this is such a... it doesn't matter. Such an apex fight night, isn't it? Gilham Pat made his debut this year, looked horrible against Alex Fry Jr. Just looked real hesitant. It was probably like that's your classic heavyweight blob match. They didn't really want to throw strikes. You know, he's pretty good, Gilham Pat, though. He looked real good in the regional scene. He's gotten a few finishes. Thomas Peterson beats the scrubs of the division, but loses to the semi-decent heavyweights. And that's weird saying that. He was doing good against Vitor Petrino in his last fight before he got knocked out. It's heavyweight, what do you expect? But Vitor Petrino is not too bad. Got a decision against Dontal Mays. Do not rate Dontal Mays. And got knocked out by Shamil Gaziev. So, yeah. I think Gilham Pat's going to win. I think Peterson's just a classic heavyweight blob, and he's 6'1" a heavyweight, and Gilham Pat's 6'6". I think that range and reach is just going to be too much. I'm going to go Gilham Pat by a KO. Gilham Pat is $2, Thomas Peterson's $1.80. So, yeah, that's my pick. And for the next fight, we have Jose Delano versus Robert Ruchala. Never seen these two fight. I'm just going to go off the topology. So, basically, Jose Delano, it's his debut. He's got a few finishes on the regional scene. Looks alright. Good featherweight bout. I think I have actually seen Robert Ruchala fight. If I can get it up. I don't know. Can't get up my topology. I'm going to go... Reach. They don't give you much information, eh? Oh, here we go. Robert Ruchala lost to William Gomez. William Gomez is okay. It's really hard to tell. I'm going to go Robert Ruchala. This is a total random pick. Robert Ruchala's $3.80 and Jose Delano's $1.30. Wow. Maybe I should be choosing Jose Delano, but I'm choosing Robert Ruchala. Don't know why. Maybe he's better. For the next fight, we have Tommy McMillan versus Milano Zucchini. I actually do know these two. So the problem with these cards, bro. Tommy McMillan debuted on the Dana White's Contender Series, had a sick fight, got dropped a couple times, got a good submission. Not submission, he had a really good fight. It was real back and forth. It was probably one of the fights of the year on Dana White's Contender Series. He's debuting against Milano Zucchini. He got knocked out by Morgan Charrier. That's kind of hard to tell because of how early he got knocked out, like under 2 minutes in the first round. Manalo, I don't really remember his fight, but like it's real hard to determine how you look off that performance. He didn't get the chance to get started, but obviously I'm going to choose Tommy McMillan by a TKO, I feel like. Tommy McMillan is $1.06 and Manolo Zucchini is $9.50. If you want some money to throw out, probably put $10 on Manolo Zucchini. I think these are weird odds. I don't know why. It's such a... it's really hard to determine fights off 2 minutes. So, yeah. I'm choosing Tommy McMillan, though. For the next fight, we have Ethan Ewing versus Rafael Estevam. Ethan Ewing, he debuted on 5 days' notice, I'm pretty sure, against Malcolm Wellmaker. Got dropped twice in that fight, but beat the shit out of him otherwise. Had a really good performance on short notice at featherweight. He's been looking good on the regional scene. And Rafael Estevam, he's missed weight a few times at flyweight. They've made him move up, but is it featherweight or bantamweight? I'm pretty sure this is bantamweight. He beat Felipe Bunes. Felipe Bunes is actually half decent. Jesus Aguilar's not the greatest win in Cody. Charles Johnson. Didn't think he won that Charles Johnson fight. Even though Rafael Estevam is an undefeated prospect, he's going up a weight class. He hasn't looked super impressive in his fights. I'm going Ethan Ewing. That fight against Malcolm Wellmaker really did impress me. I think he's going to press the pace and get a decision over Rafael Estevam. So, yeah, Ethan Ewing's $1.70 and Rafael Estevam's $2.22. I think Ethan Ewing's going to win by decision. Now, for the featured fight, we have Abdul Rahman Yakiev versus Brenderson Ribeiro. Rahman Yakiev, he's had one fight in the UFC, and he knocked out Rafael Kikera, probably the worst light heavyweight to ever exist. And Brenderson Ribeiro, he's just been a victim, man. And got a round 2 submission over Nergazai, and Nergazai is terrible on the ground, bro. And he's lost his last 2. Now, mind you, Azmat Moicano is a fucking killer. But I'm losing to Omar Sy, now that we know he's a fraud, is not that good. I'm going to choose the undefeated Abdul Rahman Yakiev. I think he just, what I saw, I think he's going to knock him out. Abdul Rahman Yakiev is $1.05 and Brenderson Ribeiro is $10.50. Biggest underdog in the fight. Like I said, if you want to waste some money, put it on Brenderson Ribeiro. I don't think he's going to win, though. I think Abdul's going to knock him out. So, yeah. That's my choice. And for the co-main event, we have Verna Jandiroba, female Chihuahuas versus Tabitha Ricci, also known as Callum Walsh's girlfriend. Verna Jandiroba, she's had a pretty impressive career before fighting Mackenzie Dern for the title. She's basically just been undefeated in the not undefeated in the UFC, but she's had a pretty long UFC career. She's been in the UFC since 2019. Her last 3 fights, she beat Amanda Lemos, submitted her. Had a pretty close decision with Yajanan, and then 2-3 Mackenzie Dern. Didn't win the title. Tabitha Ricci, she's a bit of an industry plant in my opinion. She's had wins and losses. There's been a few where I thought she should have lost. So, Angela Hill, I thought she lost that fight. She lost to Yan Janan and won against Amanda Hebus, knocked her out. Amanda Hebus is tiny for the division. I think she was just having an off night. I think Verna Jandiroba is going to take Tabitha Ricci down and submit her. She's really good. I've been really impressed by her performances. And yeah, I think Verna Jandiroba is just going to dominate her. I think Tabitha Ricci is a bit of an industry plant. Verna Jandiroba is $1.80 and Tabitha Ricci is $2.07. So yeah. And for the main event of the night, Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan. Renato Moicano, he's looked okay, you know what I mean? It's hard to, he lost to He lost to Beneil Dariush, which is horrible in the big 25, sorry. But before that, fought Makachev, arguably knocked him down, but got submitted in under a round. And before that, he knocked out BSD, which is looking really good, by doctor stoppage. Renato Moicano is just a shitter version of Charles Oliveira. That's all I can say about him. And Chris Duncan, his activities looked awesome. Survived against Terrence McKinney. Had a war with Matusz Rubeski. Submitted Jordan Vincenik and submitted Balagioki in under a round. You know what? This is a harder fight to choose because while I do like Chris Duncan's work and I really do like how he's been finishing his opponents, this is a pretty big step up for him. Renato Moicano ain't no joke. Chris Duncan, he's vulnerable. I've seen him very vulnerable in a lot of these fights. And to be fair, he's been fighting a lot of low-level comp. In my opinion, I think the comp that he's versing is super, low IQ in the fighting. And I really think, stay with me, that Renato Moicano is going to pull an upset. Renato Moicano is the underdog in this fight. I think Renato Moicano is going to use his fight IQ and he's going to beat Chris Duncan. Yes, Beneil Dariush loss looks horrible right now. And he lost to Islam Makhachev. But before that, he was on a win streak, man. Like, he beat Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis is a top 5 fighter. Beat Jalen Turner. Beat Drew Dober. Like, those are good wins. Drew Dober's on 2-fight win streak. Jalen Turner just beat the shit out of Barboza and BSD's top 5. I think Renado's going to pull off an upset TKO. I think Chris Duncan's just been fighting too many low IQ opponents. Now that I've really thought about this fight right now, I'm going to go Renato Moicano by a 3rd round TKO. I could see that. I think they've not pushed Chris Duncan far enough, but this is a real test for Chris Duncan. I could see Chris Duncan winning too. But yeah. So Renato Moicano is $2.50 and Chris Duncan is $1.55. But yeah, man. This card is absolute dog water. Like, legitimately, the co-main is Verna Genderova and Tabitha Ricci. Come on, bro. But yeah, those are my picks for odds and picks. I did not get one wrong. I appreciate you guys coming on. Hope you come on to the video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks. I'll see you all later. Bye.